In a small town nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there stood an old, decrepit mansion that bore the weight of a chilling history. Legend had it that a wealthy family once lived there, but tragedy struck when the youngest daughter, Isabella, mysteriously disappeared on her 7th birthday. The mansion fell into disrepair, and whispers of haunting echoes and ghostly apparitions surrounded the place. Years later, a curious group of friends decided to spend a night in the abandoned mansion, drawn by the allure of its eerie past. Among them was Sarah, an adventurous thrill-seeker, and her skeptical friend, Mark. They were joined by Emily, a history buff who had researched the mansion's dark history, and Jake, the joker of the group. As night fell, the group entered the mansion armed with flashlights and courage. The air inside was thick with a sense of foreboding as they explored the creaking halls and dusty rooms. The faded wallpaper peeled away, revealing glimpses of a time long forgotten. In one of the rooms, Emily discovered a collection of antique dolls arranged meticulously on a dusty shelf. Each doll had a hauntingly lifelike quality, with glassy eyes that seemed to follow the intruders. Mark scoffed at the superstitions surrounding the dolls, dismissing them as mere trinkets. As the group continued their exploration, strange occurrences unfolded. Unexplained whispers echoed through the halls, and shadows danced in the corners of their vision. The dolls seemed to multiply, appearing in unexpected places as if mocking the intruders. Emily, despite her initial skepticism, couldn't shake the feeling that something malevolent lingered in the mansion. Deep into the night, the group gathered in the mansion's grand ballroom. A chilling wind rattled the broken windows, and the dolls seemed to be closing in on them. Suddenly, a haunting melody echoed through the halls, and the group froze in terror. The source of the eerie music was a vintage music box that began playing on its own accord. As the haunting melody filled the room, the dolls started to move. Their porcelain limbs creaked and cracked as they began to dance in a macabre fashion. Sarah, Mark, Emily, and Jake watched in horror as the dolls twirled and spun, their lifeless eyes now filled with malevolence. The room seemed to close in on them, and the temperature plummeted. A ghostly figure appeared, the spirit of Isabella, the lost daughter, her eyes reflecting the same haunting gaze as the dolls. She spoke of a curse that bound her and the dolls to the mansion, seeking revenge for the injustice that had befallen her. Desperation filled the air as the group tried to flee, but the doors slammed shut, trapping them in the ballroom. The dolls, now animated by an otherworldly force, closed in on the terrified intruders. The room echoed with the anguished screams of the friends as they faced the wrath of the cursed dolls. The next morning, the mansion stood in silence, its secrets once again hidden within its decaying walls. The dolls returned to their lifeless state, arranged on the shelf as if nothing had happened. The chilling wind carried whispers of the horror that unfolded that night, a warning to those who dared to disturb the haunted mansion and its cursed dolls. Story 2. In the heart of the sprawling city of Ravenswood, where shadows clung to the corners of forgotten alleyways and the glow of streetlights struggled against the oppressive darkness, there stood an antique shop known as Eternal Collectibles. The shop, with its weathered sign and faded window displays, seemed frozen in time, and its proprietor, a mysterious and reclusive figure named Mr. Wainwright, was rumored to have a penchant for collecting cursed and haunted objects. A group of friends, led by the fearless adventurer Olivia, decided to explore the enigmatic world of Eternal Collectibles one gloomy evening. Olivia was accompanied by her childhood friend Ethan, a skeptical scientist, Lily, a self-proclaimed psychic, and Marcus, a thrill-seeker with a passion for the occult. They entered the dimly lit shop, its shelves lined with dusty relics and oddities that seemed to whisper tales of the supernatural. As the friends roamed through the labyrinthine aisles, Lily's attention was drawn to an ornate, ancient-looking mirror tucked away in a secluded corner. Its intricate frame exuded an eerie energy, and the reflection within seemed to distort reality. Lily, unable to resist the allure of the mysterious mirror, gazed into its depths. As her reflection stared back at her, the surroundings in the mirror transformed into a nightmarish realm. A chilling wind swept through an otherworldly landscape, and shadows danced with malicious intent. Lily, paralyzed with fear, saw twisted versions of her friends and glimpses of their tragic fates. Ethan, the skeptic, scoffed at Lily's distress until the mirror suddenly showed him a vision of his own demise. A ghastly figure emerged, whispering ominous prophecies that echoed through the shop. The friends realized they were entangled in a web of dark forces beyond their understanding. Determined to escape the supernatural clutches of Eternal Collectibles, the group faced a series of terrifying trials. Objects came to life, animated by malevolent spirits, and the air became thick with the scent of ancient curses. Whispers of long-forgotten tragedies echoed through the dimly lit corridors. In their pursuit of escape, the friends stumbled upon a hidden room at the heart of the shop. It was filled with cursed artifacts, each with its own horrifying story. At the center of the room stood Mr. Wainwright, a spectral figure with hollow eyes and a sinister grin. He revealed that the objects in his collection were conduits for ancient spirits seeking to wreak havoc on the living. The friends, now trapped in a supernatural nightmare, faced a choice: succumb to the dark forces within Eternal Collectibles or find a way to break the curse. Lily, guided by an otherworldly intuition, discovered a ritual that could banish the spirits back to the realms from which they came. As the clock struck midnight, the friends gathered in a circle, reciting incantations to sever the ties between the cursed objects and the malevolent entities. The room trembled, and the air crackled with energy. Shadows retreated, and the oppressive darkness lifted. When the friends opened their eyes, they found themselves standing outside Eternal Collectibles, the shop now appearing as ordinary as any other. The cursed mirror was gone, and Mr. Wainwright's spectral presence had vanished. The friends, forever changed by their harrowing experience, left Ravenswood with a newfound respect for the supernatural and a shared secret that bound them together: the night they escaped the clutches of Eternal Collectibles and the haunted relics that dwelled within. Story 3. In the small, forgotten town of Hollowbrick, nestled at the edge of an ancient and ominous forest, there stood an abandoned mansion that bore the scars of a dark and twisted history. Locals spoke in hushed tones about the tragic fate that befell the Morgan family, who once called the mansion their home. The Morgans were known for their peculiar fascination with dolls, lifelike, porcelain dolls that seemed to hold the essence of the family's secrets. One stormy night, a group of 5 friends decided to unravel the mysteries that surrounded the dilapidated mansion. Their names were Alex, the charismatic leader; Rachel, the history enthusiast; Matt, the skeptic; Emma, the empathetic soul; and Chris, the thrill-seeker. Armed with flashlights and fueled by a mixture of curiosity and trepidation, they approached the mansion's grand entrance. As they stepped inside, the air became thick with a sense of foreboding. Dust danced in the weak beams of their flashlights, and the creaking floorboards beneath their feet seemed to protest their intrusion. The mansion, long abandoned, echoed with whispers of the past. In the foyer, the friends stumbled upon a room filled with an unsettling collection of dolls. Each doll had a unique, haunting beauty, but their glassy eyes seemed to follow the intruders with an unsettling intensity. Rachel, fascinated by history, recognized the dolls as replicas of the Morgan family members. As the friends delved deeper into the mansion's secrets, they discovered a hidden chamber beneath the grand staircase. The room was adorned with portraits of the Morgan family, their eyes painted with an unnerving realism that seemed to pierce through the veil of time. In the center of the room stood a life-sized doll, a perfect replica of the youngest Morgan daughter, Isabella. Emma, sensitive to energies, felt a strange presence emanating from the Isabella doll. It whispered tales of a forbidden ritual conducted by the Morgans to infuse their souls into the dolls, granting them immortality at a terrible cost. The dolls, once mere playthings, now harbored the tormented spirits of the family. As the friends pressed on, their flashlights flickering in the oppressive darkness, they began to experience inexplicable phenomena. Whispers echoed through the halls, and the dolls seemed to move when no one was watching. The group's unity began to fray as fear gripped their hearts. In a forgotten attic, they stumbled upon a room filled with diaries that chronicled the Morgans' descent into madness. The final entry spoke of a curse that bound the family to the mansion, and a warning that anyone who dared to disturb their eternal slumber would face a fate worse than death. As the clock struck midnight, the mansion came alive with a malevolent energy. The dolls, animated by the trapped souls of the Morgans, surrounded the friends. The atmosphere thickened with despair as the spirits sought to claim the intruders, their anguished wails echoing through the desolate halls. Desperation fueled their escape as the friends raced against time. They discovered a hidden chamber where a centuries-old ritual had taken place. The only way to break the curse was to confront the dolls and return them to their lifeless state. In a climactic confrontation, the friends faced the dolls in a battle between the living and the supernatural. Each doll represented a tormented soul, and the friends had to find a way to release them from their porcelain prisons. With courage and determination, they enacted a ritual to free the spirits and break the curse that bound the mansion. As the first light of dawn broke through the stormy clouds, the mansion stood silent and still. The dolls, once vessels of torment, returned to their inanimate state. The friends, exhausted and forever changed by the night's ordeal, emerged into the morning light, the weight of the curse lifted from Hollowbrick. The mansion, no longer haunted by the ghosts of the past, stood as a testament to the resilience of friendship and the power to overcome even the darkest of secrets. The town of Hollowbrick, once shrouded in mystery, began to heal, and the abandoned mansion became a cautionary tale for those who dared to tempt the forces that lurked beyond the veil of the unknown. The friends, still shaken by their encounter with the supernatural, couldn't shake the feeling that the spirits of the Morgan family lingered in the shadows. As they made their way out of the mansion, the storm that had raged through the night began to dissipate, leaving behind an eerie calm. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and lingering spirits. Unbeknownst to the friends, the curse that bound the Morgans to the mansion was not completely vanquished. As they ventured back into the town, strange occurrences followed them like lingering echoes of the night's horrors. Objects moved on their own, and whispers of ghostly laughter trailed behind them. Rachel, haunted by a vision she had seen in one of the Morgan family diaries, became obsessed with unraveling the remaining mysteries. She discovered a hidden chamber in the mansion that had eluded them, a place where the darkest secrets of the Morgans were kept. The room was filled with artifacts and relics, each carrying a piece of the family's tormented history. In the heart of the hidden chamber, Rachel found a tattered journal that detailed a ritual to fully break the curse. The friends, now realizing the gravity of their situation, gathered once more to confront the lingering spirits. The ritual required them to retrieve personal belongings of the Morgan family scattered throughout the mansion and burn them in a ceremonial fire. As they retraced their steps through the haunted halls, the dolls that once tormented them seemed to resist their quest. The glassy eyes of the Isabella doll, in particular, bore into Emma's soul, as if pleading for release. Emma, in an act of empathy, hesitated but ultimately knew that their only hope lay in completing the ritual. As the friends gathered the belongings, memories of the Morgans' tragic past played out before them. The family's descent into madness, the desperation that led to the cursed ritual, and the tormented spirits yearning for freedom became vivid in their minds. The dolls, once adversaries, now seemed to guide them toward the resolution of the curse. Back in the hidden chamber, the friends ignited the ceremonial fire. The flames danced with an otherworldly intensity as the personal belongings of the Morgan family turned to ash. The dolls, one by one, lost their eerie animation, and the mansion trembled with a final release of spiritual energy. In a blinding flash, the spirits of the Morgans ascended, their anguished wails transforming into ethereal whispers of gratitude. The mansion, no longer bound by the curse, stood silent and still. The storm clouds that had lingered for days parted, revealing the first rays of sunlight. As the friends stepped out into the morning light, they felt a weight lift from their shoulders. The town of Hollowbrick, once gripped by the darkness of the Morgan curse, began to recover. The mansion, now stripped of its haunted reputation, stood as a testament to the resilience of friendship and the power to confront even the most malevolent forces. The friends, forever bound by the shared experience, left Hollowbrick behind. The story of their encounter with the supernatural would become a local legend, a cautionary tale whispered around campfires. As they moved on with their lives, they couldn't help but wonder if the spirits of the Morgans had truly found peace or if, somewhere in the shadows, Echoes of that fateful night lingered, waiting to be discovered by the next group of unsuspecting souls who dared to enter the haunted mansion of Hollowbrick. Story 4. In the years that followed the friends' harrowing experience in Hollowbrick, the legend of the haunted mansion became a distant memory. However, fate had other plans for a new group of unsuspecting individuals drawn to the town by whispers of the supernatural. A trio of paranormal investigators: Elena, a psychic with a gift for communicating with spirits; Ryan, a tech-savvy skeptic armed with an array of ghost-hunting gadgets; and Taylor, a former believer turned disillusioned debunker, arrived in Hollowbrick to explore the mysteries surrounding the mansion. Intrigued by the tales of the cursed dolls and the lingering spirits, they set out to uncover the truth. As they entered the town, they were met with wary glances from the locals, who still remembered the night the first group of friends confronted the haunted mansion. The trio, undeterred by the ominous atmosphere, headed straight for the abandoned estate that had once belonged to the Morgan family. The mansion, though no longer visibly haunted, retained an aura of unease. The investigators set up their equipment, determined to capture evidence of the paranormal. Elena, guided by her psychic abilities, felt a residual energy lingering in the air. As night fell, they delved into the mansion's dark corridors, their flashlights cutting through the oppressive darkness. In the hidden chamber, the investigators discovered remnants of the previous group's rituals: a burnt diary, a shattered porcelain doll, and lingering echoes of spiritual energy. Unbeknownst to them, the spirits that had been released were still tethered to the mansion, their presence growing stronger as the investigators delved deeper into the mystery. Ryan, the skeptic, scoffed at the idea of curses and ghosts, attributing the strange occurrences to natural phenomena. However, as the investigators moved through the mansion, his skepticism waned. Electronic devices malfunctioned, and eerie whispers filled the air. Taylor, once a staunch debunker, felt a chill run down his spine. In a room adorned with remnants of the Morgan family's tragic past, Elena's psychic senses heightened. She communicated with the lingering spirits, uncovering the depths of their sorrow and desperation. The spirits revealed that the curse had not been fully broken, and their souls were trapped in a perpetual state of unrest. Determined to bring closure to the tormented spirits, the investigators decided to conduct a séance. As they gathered in the hidden chamber, they called out to the Morgan family and the souls of the friends who had first encountered the curse. The atmosphere crackled with energy as the spirits responded, their voices intertwining in a symphony of anguish and longing. In a sudden surge of spectral energy, the room illuminated with an otherworldly glow. The spirits, now fully awakened, pleaded for release. Elena, channeling a newfound strength, guided the spirits toward the light, breaking the remaining bonds of the curse. The mansion quivered as if exhaling a sigh of relief. As dawn broke, the investigators emerged from the mansion, the air now free from the weight of centuries-old curses. The town of Hollowbrick, forever changed by the encounters with the supernatural, gradually embraced the newfound peace. The abandoned mansion, once a symbol of dread, now stood as a testament to the resilience of those who faced the unknown. The trio of investigators, having played a crucial role in unraveling the mansion's mysteries, left Hollowbrick behind, carrying with them the echoes of the past. As they drove away, the town returned to a semblance of normalcy, the haunted mansion fading into the backdrop of local lore. Yet, in the shadows, the spirits of the Morgans and the friends lingered, whispering their gratitude to those who had finally set them free. The story of Hollowbrick's haunted mansion became a tale passed down through generations, a reminder that some mysteries are meant to be confronted and that, sometimes, even the darkest curses can find redemption in the light.